Hello everyone, welcome back. So now that we have created the online database and the web-based UI, let us see how to integrate both these using PHP codes. So in order to start doing that, so on your course website, you can find the PHP files. So you can find a zip file with lab2 PHP codes. So you just need to download this. I've already downloaded this. So after you download this, these are all the files which are available. So now in the GUI which we have created earlier, so I've shown you two functionalities like creating a new course and displaying all the courses. So let us see which files are associated with both these functionalities. So we have show courses and new course. So let us copy both these files into our folder where we have our site stored, and along with these the config file. So I'll just copy these three files. Okay, and I'll paste these files where I've in the folder where I have my site. Okay, so this is the folder where I have my site. So I'll paste all these files in this folder. Okay, so now that I've all these files in my in the folder where I have my site, so let us start doing this. So first we need to edit these files. So first open the config file. Okay, so click on edit with Microsoft Web Expression. Okay, so this is the config file. So here we have the server as localhost and the database. So we have to give the name of the database. So if you can go to phpMyAdmin, so this is the name of your database. So you should edit this name so that this name matches your database name. So mine is okay, and you need to give your username. So your username is pretty much the name of your database. So the username is what we have entered earlier while logging into phpMyAdmin. Like it is s_ your Bradley username. Okay, and you should give the password to access the database. So this should be the password of your database. So I've just copied the password which was randomly generated, and so I'll just paste this over here. Okay, so these are the changes which you have to do in your config file. So you have to change the name of the database, so it should match to your database name. You have to change the username, so it should match your phpMyAdmin username, and you have to change the password to access the database, like your phpMyAdmin password. So like in the part 1 video, we have seen that I've just reset the password which was a randomly generated password, and I used it to access the phpMyAdmin. Later on, I've also shown you that we can change the password if you wish. If you have changed the password, then here you need to give your changed password. Otherwise, you can give your automatically generated password. Now that we have done this, you need to save this file. So just click on Ctrl S. Okay, and so go back to this folder. Now in order to cope up with these functionalities, we have a new course. So just go to the default HTML file. So here we have create new course. So I'll just change this file name to create new course. Create new course. Okay, and now I'll open this. So edit with Microsoft Web Expression. Okay, so now here you can see that over here there's nothing to change, but here we can see that it says insert into table name. So we have to edit this table name so that it should match with your course's table name. So since this is create new course file, you have to edit this table name to your table, like course's table name. My course's table name is in all caps, so I'll just edit this. Okay, and then these are all the column names. You should make sure that these column names, just a moment. Okay, so you should make sure that your column names should match these column names. So they should be exactly. So it should be course underscore ID, it should be course underscore department, course underscore section, course underscore number, term, and term underscore ID. You should make sure these exactly match with your column names, like the caps, everything should be exactly the same. Make sure you change it if, like, make sure your column names in your PHP MyAdmin database and these are exactly the same. Okay, so now that we this is like insert into the table, so these are the column names. So here we have something like $, post, course ID. So this is like we are giving these values into these columns, so make sure these match with these. Like the first thing should be course ID, second should be course department. Like it should not there's no like compulsion that it should match this context, like it should be course underscore department. So this is, there's no compulsion that it should be exactly the same, but we should just make sure that in the course ID column we are entering course ID, in the course department column we are entering the course department. So for the course section it should be course section, for course number it should be course number, for term it should be term, and for term ID it should be term ID. There's no compulsion that this name should exactly be this name, but you should just make sure you enter the values correspondingly. So now we have done these changes. Let us save this. So just click Ctrl S. Now we have to also do some changes in our default HTML site. So since this is our create new course, so just go to this. Over here you can find something called form action. So so when you just open this, it will be empty. So here you should give this PHP file name. So just type create new course .php. Okay, and then over here you can see that this is our create new course functionality, and we have course ID, course department, course section, course number, term, and term ID. And here you can see in the under name you have text1, text2, text3, text4, but you should make these make sure that this should match with these post values. Like this is what we are posting actually, so these should match with this name field. So for course ID, so in the post we have so just copy this and paste this over here. Okay, so similarly for course department it is course underscore department. Copy this, paste this in your default HTML file. Okay, so for course section, copy this and paste this over here. Okay, and for course number we have course number, paste it. For term we have term, copy it and paste it. And finally for term ID we have it as term underscore ID. So just copy this and paste it over here. Okay, so now that we have done all these changes, just save this file. So I'm just click Ctrl S. So now I've saved this file. So let us similarly change this for this display courses. Just click on this. Okay, so before we do these changes, let us go to this similar go to the display courses folder. So it's like show courses, but since the name is display all courses, I'll just first change the name. So display all courses. Okay, now we need to edit this file. So okay, let us see if we need to edit it. So just click edit. Okay, so these are the columns that will be displayed, like course number, course department, course section, and term. Okay, so this is everything is fine. So let us go to the default HTML, and okay, so just click on this layer. Here you can see form action is equal to, so then here you just need to type your PHP file name. So it's display all courses .php. Okay, so now we have done these changes. Let us just save this. Okay, now that I've edited all the PHP files, like config file, create new course, and display courses file. So now let us move on to transferring these files to the Playground server. So in order to do that, I'm using FileZilla. You can find this FileZilla in Bradley 180 and 160, or you can even download it into your laptops. So this is how FileZilla looks like. So this is the local site, like my machine, and this will be the Playground server. So first, in order to connect to this, we just need to give the host name. Okay, so it's sftp playground.bradley.edu. Okay, and username, it's your Bradley username. Password, it's your Bradley password. Port number should be 22. And then click on Quick Connect. Click OK. So it's connecting. Okay, so now we have connected to the Playground server. When you have connected, you can see that there will be a folder with your name, with your Bradley username. So here we have, make sure you enter your Bradley username and your Bradley password. So we can find a folder with our username. So just expand it. Okay, so I already have a public underscore HTML directory, but you will not have it when you just open it for the first time. So make sure you create a directory called public underscore HTML. I'll just show you how to do that. Just right click and you'll find an option called create directory. Just click on that and you can just give the name as public underscore HTML and click OK. So since I already have it, I'm not going to create it once again. So in your public HTML directory, you need to create a folder. So I already have certain folders. Now I'll create one more folder, like create directory, and I'll just create as demo lab. Okay, so now you can see that I have my new directory created as demo lab. Now we need to transfer all our files into this demo lab. Okay, so initially our demo lab is empty. Now we need to transfer our files into this demo lab. So here just go to your folder where you have all your files. Okay, so mine are in documents, my websites, my site too. Okay, so these are all the files. So now we need to transfer these files from our local machine to this Playground server. Before you do that, just make sure all these files are recent and updated. So I'll just refresh them to make sure that they are the recent and updated files. And then I'll just transfer these files from my local machine to this. Just a moment. Again, I'll just refresh these. Okay, so when we are transferring these, it will just ask, this is the source file and this is the target. So I'll just click on OK. So since I've just done it twice, so it's asked once again. So now you can see this, the transfer is finished. So just make sure you wait for a moment. So it just takes a moment. Okay, so now we can see that all our files are transferred to this Playground server. Okay, now let us see how to test this client server application. So in order to do that, just go back to Google, just type playground.bradley.edu/ and the toggle sign. So the wave symbol which you can find on your keyboard, like this sign, the toggle sign, and then your username, your Bradley username. Click enter. Okay, so then it takes you to the index of your username, like index of your directory or something like that. And here you can see this demo lab which I've created just now, this folder. Just click on this. Here we can see all the files. So I'll click on the default HTML file. Okay, now you can see that this is the website which we have created in Microsoft Web Expression. Okay, now let us see how to test whether everything is fine. So here I'll just give a course ID, something 20, course department, CIS, course section as 1, course number, something like 5, some random number, 566, term as spring semester 2019, and term ID I'll just give it as 8, and then click on submit. Okay, now you can see that one record added. So we can just verify this going back to our PHP MyAdmin. Just go back to your PHP MyAdmin database and then just go into courses. Okay, so now you can see that a new record has been added, the 566 course which we have added earlier from the site. Okay, so this is 20, 566, so which we have added from here. Okay, so now that we have added this, so let us check one more functionality. So you can just click reset so that you can just add one more course, or to just test it. So this reset setbacks to original form, like you can just enter one more record. Okay, so let us test this display all courses functionality. So I'll just click on show. Oh, so now you can see all the courses which we have entered in our online database. So you can also find this new course which we have just added earlier, like this 566 course. You can just even verify once again that all these courses match with the courses given in your database. So I have all these records over here and over here. Okay, so this is how you create your PHP codes, your GUI, your online database, and integrate everything so that you can just enter the records directly from this website, which will be stored into your database. So now that I've shown you for both these functionalities, so based on your variants, you also need to create several other functionalities, like as I've discussed earlier for this courses, like the variant number 2 which is focused on courses. I've just showed display all courses and remotely add one more course to your database. I've showed both these functionalities. You also similarly should create select a term and display all courses, select a term, select a course and display all students, and remotely remove a select course. So these three functionalities. So once again I can just show you how it looks like. Okay, so okay, so this is how it looks like with all the added functionalities. I've just shown you 2 functionalities. So similarly, if you follow the same process, you can create all the 5 functionalities and test them as we have done earlier. You can just do the changes over here and you can verify in your database. So this is how you perform your lab 2. Okay, so after doing all this, you just need to create a PPT. So here you can just find what are all the required deliverables. So you need to create a PPT, and the part 1 of the PPT should include all this, part 2 should include this, and the part 3, okay, so you part 3 should, so sorry, this is part 3 should create a doc file, so with all these details, and you should create a zip file and send it to your instructor before the designated deadline. Thank you so much.